There. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipana anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musawada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Wadita Visuka Dasana Malakanda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatthana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchchasayana Mahasayana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. idang me silang maga pala nyanasa pachayo hotu appamadena sampadeta sadhu. All right. Let's start off with some guided metta. So we sit here, we let go of all the vipassana objects. Just keep the mind present, peaceful, calm. Let the body relax. Relax on top of the head, to the forehead, to the face and neck, shoulders, arms, the chest area, stomach area, to the buttocks, to the hips, thighs, the knees and calves, the soles. So relax the body, keep the mind alert and peaceful. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be able to live in peace with myself and in peace with others. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. May I be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May I be peaceful. May I be well. May I be healthy. And may I truly be happy. Let us expand our metta to all the beings around here, monks or nuns, fellow yogis, to the Dharma workers, helpers, volunteers, to all the donors, the sponsors, to all the guardian devas of this center, to all other devas residing in this neighborhood, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big, small, seen or unseen. May all of us here be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all of us be peaceful, be well, be healthy, and may all of us here truly be happy. May all of us be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May we all be peaceful, be well, and truly be happy. Now let us expand further. Expand to all the beings in this country, humans or non-humans, devas or petas, animals big, small, far or near, seen or unseen. May they all be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful. May they all be well, be healthy, and truly be happy. Now let us expand our metta, reaching out to all the beings in this world. May they be our loved ones near or far away, or those people whom we do not know wherever they are, and to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. To all the guardian devas, to all the guardian devas of the Buddha Sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the petas, and to all the animals, big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this world be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all able to live in peace and not in war. live with kindness and compassion, and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings be peaceful, may they all be well and healthy, and may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May they all be peaceful, may they all be well, and may all beings truly be happy. Now let us expand. Let us expand our metta, reaching out to all beings without exception, without boundary. All beings in this universe or universes, all beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest plane of existence. To all the beings in all the world systems. May all beings without exception be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful, able to live in peace with themselves and in peace with others. May they all be well. May they all be peaceful. And may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be free from all kinds of harm and danger, free from all mental suffering, free from all physical suffering. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well and healthy. And may all beings truly be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May they all be well. And may all beings truly be happy. And slowly let go of the reflection on metta. Bring the mind back again to the body. Feel the rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the body here and now. Then we can slowly open our eyes. Hey, who used the oil? You are. Oh, the oil so strong. This one, yes. The whole place. Masuk sampai hidung. Anyway, doesn't matter. Actually, it distract me from doing the metta, actually. Do the metta only, smelling. May I be free, smelling. Then what line already? All right. So, last week we talked about. Oh yes, before I forget, tomorrow's interview is the same like Saturday. So the one that Saturday still we use. All right. So last week we talked about on the Sīla. Yeah? On Friday, as I mentioned, that Sīla, they are one of the last on Thursday we talk about Sīla as an intention, and then Sīla as mental factors, wholesome mental factors, of course. Here, the wholesome mental factors maybe, for example, like your actions is determined by compassion. Determined by compassion. So whether you take the precept or you don't take precept doesn't matter. Right? Determined by compassion. Because of compassion, you do the action. Because of compassion, you you do the action or the speech comes out. Yeah? And then what else? It can be determined by metta also. Yeah. If you sincerely word it out, for example, may you be safe. May you be happy. Or determined by mudita. Mudita means you appreciate other people's happiness or other people's success or other people's accumulation. Because of that, then we appreciate or we are happy for their whatever accumulation, spiritual, material that they have. For example, like when we say sadhu, that also is a kind of mudita, but a lot of times it becomes just like somebody do good, we say sadhu, but no more, not much of a feeling anymore. But the mudita is appreciative. That means somebody do something wholesome, then we rejoice in others' wholesomeness and others' action, wholesome actions. Yeah. So with that, if we sincerely mean it, then it's a kind of sila. It's a wholesome speech. Yeah. So a lot of our actions not only just necessary are determined by the four Brahma Viharas, but also can be determined by maybe like wisdom. Actions like, for example, if this action is wholesome, you know that it's wholesome because you know that there is a cause and effect, for example, then perhaps you do the action. Then you do the action because you understood it as something is wholesome. So it's good for you. Yeah? Then what else? Yeah, something like this. So today, the third type of sila. The third type of sila is sila as restraint. Sila as restraint. That means this one will be connected to prevent ourselves from doing the unwholesomeness. Prevent ourselves from doing unwholesomeness through speech, through actions, or through thoughts. And within this Sīla as a restraint, morality as a restraint, then there are 5 types of restraint. And again, here, we have done it quite a lot. Yeah? Now, the first type of restraint is called the Patimokkha restraint. Yeah? Patimokkha restraint, as I said last week, I mentioned that this one be part of like a bhikkhu, bhikkhuni's precept. A lot of the precepts is deal with to restrain, but some of the precepts that you have to do also. So that one we leave it to the monks and nuns. The second one will be more important, especially towards for the yogis. Now the second one is restraint through mindfulness. Restraint through mindfulness. So towards the talk on last week, Friday, we ended somewhere here. Now here, mindfulness as a form of restraint. Then here it means that the mindfulness, we use the mindfulness to guard the senses, the external senses. That means the 5 senses: eye door, ear door, nose door, taste door, and the touch door. You see, mindfulness as restrainer, you will not see it that much if the mindfulness is not strong. Only when the mindfulness is strong, then only you see that the manifestation of this mindfulness. How this mindfulness, when you are alert and clear, it protects your senses from coming in. It protects all the defilements from coming in. It protects the defilements from coming in through the senses. Normally, what we do as a form of restraint, for example, like if there are, normally if like our place, our house, all filled with all kinds of beautiful things, our people, our loved ones, people, your things, your duties, your responsibilities, then with those things, it's not easy for us to develop the meditation intensively. Partially, maybe you can, but intensively, we cannot, not so easy. But partially means the mindfulness will not be continuous. The development of the mind will not be continuous. So it's going to be partial also. So therefore, we come into a retreat. So we come to a retreat. That means that we are restraining all our senses as much as possible and away from those things. So when we are away from those things, then it is a kind of restraint. We restrain our senses physically. We restrain our senses physically. So we let go of our duties, responsibilities for a couple of weeks or for 3 months, depending on what's your retreat time. So because of that, it reduces a lot of our attachment, and that is good. It's a kind of restraint also. It's a kind of restraint. You're away from those type of things. But restraint of mindfulness, it takes the quality of mindfulness to arise. Then you find that this time is like from internal. The mindfulness is internal, and then therefore the restraint is coming from internal, and it protects the senses it protects the defilements from coming in. Not the avoidance type. So the first one is that when we come over here, we restrain in the form of we avoid those type of things. But when you come in here, then here we also exercise certain kind of restraint, but this time the restraint comes through with mindfulness. Now come through with mindfulness here to give you example, simple example. Let's say your walking meditation. Now, when you do your walking meditation, sometimes if you do your one face walking meditation, then when the mindfulness is not that deep yet, or the clarity of the mind not that deep yet, you tend to walk, and then you see somebody, you see outside, you see the trees a little bit. Then after you walk again, walk. If your mind is restless there, then your eyes, you will see that your eyes will keep on looking here and there already. Then after that, you feel that you want to go outside and take a walk, take a breather, see the birds and trees for a while. So the mindfulness is not that strong. And the mindfulness is not that strong at this time. But when you come to your slowest phase, let's say you do your 3 phase, 4 phases, then that time when you're actually paying attention to your object, lifting, pushing, dropping, and you label it, and you actually able to notice something, and those objects are clear to you. At that time, you find that your eyes, your ears, you're not so interested in outside things when things are clear to you. When things are not clear, then after that, you start looking there again. So when things are going well, when mindfulness is going strong, you find that the eyes is not interested in all these outside things. Even there's a little bit of sound, the eyes is not going to check it out and to think of who is it. It's just keep on noticing the steps, the sensation, the whatever that's manifesting in your lifting, pushing, dropping. So that time you see that your eyes and your ears are much more guarded. Why? Because of mindfulness. The manifestation of mindfulness, when it's strong, you see that the mind, the eyes, and the senses are not interested in all the other objects. Doesn't mean it don't know, It doesn't mean that your mind don't know. You know something is there. Even as sometimes like you're walking very thoroughly in your observation, then there's something that's moving there, and you are not so interested in looking at those things. Your eyes is still 5 or 6 feet in front of you, and the observation is still going on with the thing. So here, therefore, here is that the mindfulness itself, it becomes guarding. So it got the senses. It got the senses. So therefore, when the mindfulness is clear, it guards in so many ways, even like when you're eating, also the same thing, especially the taste. So here, when you're chewing and you're paying attention, and let's say that time you're more thorough in your noticing, then when you're chewing, biting, and noticing how the jaws are moving or the tongue is moving, and then that time you find that you're not so interested in what you're eating. As long as it doesn't check at you, it goes inside you too hard, and then okay, everything allowable to swallow down, and fine. You don't. It's okay. You're not so interested whether how people cook this thing, how much in this way. We just makan only, mindfully, clearly. But the moment that next week when you go back, different already. When you makan, you want to know who cooked lah, how is it being cooked lah, what is there lah, what the ingredient there. You kepo already lah. Mentally, But here, if you're mindfully paying attention, you're not so interested in how is it, as long as it can be eaten properly. You don't feel anything that is wrong Not the taste is something very funny taste or something spoiled or something like that. I mean, it's just normal. Then at time, your mind is not so interested in what is all this type of thing. You just eat on it. That means at time, the mindfulness is guarding the senses. The senses here is the tongue. I pay attention to the movement, swallowing, and everything until things disappear. Then you take a scoop again. Yeah. Then you'll notice that when you are more, when the days when you are mindful and you're clear, you find that also that time when you're eating also, you also don't eat that much. Naturally, because of the biting, chewing, you're mindful of those sort of things. Then when you feel that it is good enough, then after that we give up on eating. Yeah. Now, in the process of mindfulness as a guarding of the senses, but just so happen you see something or you hear something. Just so happen you hear something or you see something. As I said, when your mindfulness is sharp and clear, together with other concentration, their optimum level, your mind quickly come back to the senses. Quickly come back to the object of your meditation, which is lifting, pushing, dropping, or whatever, rising, falling, and whatsoever. During that time, I said, although you know it, but you don't know what is it, exactly know what the whole thing are. Yeah? Here, the Dhamma, especially the Buddha also described that what we call, what's the word now? We should not apprehend the signs or the particulars of the object, the signs or the particulars of the object, or the features of the object that is being seen or being heard or being tasted. Yeah? Here, what it means is that you see, when you are out there, when there's not much of mindfulness, as I said, that when you see somebody, you automatically know exactly who they are from far. Even the person is not the person, but it looks so same, so similar, you already think that it's the person also. Because the shape of the person looks so similar. Or the person, how the person walk, or even the person's voice. So even you don't see near, but from far you can able to know that who the person is. And how is that so? Why is that so? It's because of our perception. Perception of our mind already marks all the features, external features of the person. How the person walk, the shape of the person, the hair of the person. These are called apprehending the sign, apprehending the nimitta here, the sign, the external signs. So the moment we apprehend the external sign, perception is already there. We perceive it already there. And multiple perception, especially like through the eyes, a multiple perception is there. The shape of the person, the hair of the person's walking, all these kind of things. Then the moment we perceive it, after that the perception forms a name already, who they are. So it's very quickly for the mind from perception and then comes up to name after all the thinking carries on with that. So too, when you are looking at something which is beautiful, even you do not know the person or the thing, but it's something beautiful to you, something unique to you. You look at it, the shape of the thing, or let's say a dress or pants or whatever, the color, the cutting, everything you've been looking, and you take note of all the details of the thing. Then the moment you take note of all the details, you like it already. The desire arises because the perception comes up, the attachment or the craving or the desire, the greed all spring up so fast. That's how we live our life out there. uh, things are not beautiful, things are not good to you, not agreeable to you. The moment we look at it, then because we perceive it again with that past perception, you already in the past, you already have that perception already. So the moment in the present, you have that, and immediately all the unpleasant feelings arises. So after that, anger and so on arise. This is how we live our life. Uh, but this perception can be changed. Not to say cannot be changed. But the problem is that when we are not mindful, we change from even from it give what is not beautiful and which give you anger or irritation. Then after that, it can becomes liking or attachment. Yeah? Maybe somebody that you don't really like at all, really hate the person. But after some time, not bad, then not bad, not bad. Then fall in love, you know. Perception change, but we change from because we change from what we don't like to like and like we don't like. In the world, we do like that. We go on like that and so on. And sometimes until like at one time we like until at some time we do not know the person anymore. Whether like or don't like. It's like after some time we don't see each other for so long. We can't even remember the person that much already. So neutral feeling already. So the nature of our perception out there is because of that, because we apprehend the signs. Why is it like some music is nice to you and some music is not nice to you? But the music that is not nice to you, it can be nice to other people. Some people like that old music, like orchestra type of music, or soprano, that type of, that they're so high the voice and you sing only until the window also crack, that type of voice. But some people like it. I don't know what they are singing. The pitch is so high already, all in Latin or whatever. But some people can. Just like, or sometimes like you and your niece or nephew or children, they like all the rock, ping ping bong bong, ping ping bong bong. Listen, what song is those things? So the thing is that the liking or disliking is because we already take note of all its external features. All its external features, and we don't realize that we are already taking all the thing in unmindfully, unknowingly. And we have been doing it again and again and again and again for our lifetime after lifetime, lifetime after lifetime. And this perception is always coming in. You touch something, you feel something on the body, you taste, hearing, all these things are. The moment the attention is there, all the perception is coming in. So fast that it turns into whether liking, dislike, neutral feelings, and so on. This is where mindfulness comes to change all the wrong perception. Last Saturday, I talk about the 4 wrong perceptions. One of the perception is that when we see beauty, no. Last week I talked about the wrong perception of beauty, but when the mindfulness, wisdom all come in, we change from beautiful to become non-beautiful, so that the mind doesn't get attached to them. Now here, mindfulness, when it comes in to guard the senses. When you walk and so on, when your mind is alert and clear and mindful, and is it something that is moving at the side of beside your eye? You're aware of it, you know it, but you don't take in all the features of what is going on because you are not so interested in those things. The mind just goes back to the meditation object, and it just carry on in noting those things. Therefore, while we are doing walking meditation, it's always good that the path of the walking doesn't have too many beautiful things or too many people. Some of you already complain here already too many people. Somebody walk beside you, you want to look at their leg already. How their leg moving, or who is beside you, you know. Yeah. It's quite, I mean, this all the place that we have only, you know. I try to this retreat already try to restrain how many people can come in already, you know. So it's sometimes a bit tight, but ideally, ideally it should be a bit further, so that there is always our eyes and our this one don't get too attracted to what other people is doing, what other yogis are doing. Because as I said, there's nothing much in the retreat center already, nothing much already. That if there's no picture on the wall, nothing beautiful, you begin to look at other people. But if there are beautiful things and so on, it's even more difficult. So it's not so easy for some people to do walking meditation outside now, especially outdoor. If it's in the outdoor, if let's say you go to a place and you have to do the walking meditation outdoor, that means there are trees beside you, or maybe in the forest there's a path, and then you meditate there, and you have a kuti there, and outside usually is the walking path. It's usually not every place is like your walking is under a roof. Some places the walking is on a jungle path. So you just put it nicely, flatten it, and then you walk there. The problem is that when it's raining, you cannot walk already. So because there's no roof. Sometimes they make some roof for you, just a walking path. So no matter what it is, it's always good that time you have to control your senses. Got to remind yourself, don't let the eyes keep going here and there, or keep listening to all the sounds beside you, unless it's very different and so on. So here, while we are here, so it's always good that to keep your eyes not interested in other people, not interested in all this one, then your attention, therefore, it comes back to the sensation, to the feet, and so on. There'll be times like while we are doing retreat, some days really get very, very difficult. You just have to go out to walk, outside in the garden to walk. To me, I don't mind, because some days it is so tension building up. But when you go out to walk, doesn't mean that you just begin to look everything everywhere. You do all kinds of things, and then you just try to ease off like that. Actually, the mind is even more restless. So therefore, when you go outside to walk, make sure that your eyes are not looking here and there, not listening to too many things. Back again to your feet or to the body, but you can still be outside. You have to restrain that. Sometimes we forget the moment we go out from the building only. So be careful. So just restrain the this one with mindfulness. So every time, every now, every retreat that you go, if so happen you see something, then it's always good to note seeing, 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 hearing, 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 and then after that, bring your sensation back again to the body again. Yeah? Don't flow into the seeing. The moment that you go into the seeing, after that there's a lot of thinking coming up because of the process of perception and feelings and all the thinking starts popping up. So restrain the eye. So not seeing, 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 hearing, 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 touching, 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 tasting, tasting, tasting. Now, if you so happen to notice this sensation that is coming up in the senses, for example, for example, let's say you notice the taste, and this time you notice tasting, 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 tasting. Now, here you pay attention to the tasting. And when you pay attention to the tasting, you feel sometimes the feeling that arises to it also with it. And the feeling that arises within, let's say it's a pleasant feeling, then that time you note pleasant, 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 pleasant. Doesn't mean that you just, because you note now, doesn't mean the pleasant feeling won't come in now. It will still come in now. Because maybe the mindfulness not strong enough. But sometimes again, the moment that you notice the feeling, you notice the mind that start thinking about what you are eating. Because the mind that starts thinking about what is eating, let's say you're eating a piece of chicken there, and you're biting on the chicken. Then you start to know that the mind is thinking about it, and that is chicken. And that time, you got to note thinking, thinking, thinking coming in. And then after that, the process of the thinking that is going on after that, you should follow the noting also. And this is interesting because right now, you begin to notice the conditionality of things that the moment there's a tasting is there, feeling arises. The feeling arises, thoughts arises, liking arises, disliking arises. If you pay attention to those things, so you pay attention to those things, you see that the process come up one after another. And when it happens in that way, then we are noticing in a way of Dhammanupassana. We're looking into the way of Dhammanupassana. One, the senses condition something else to arise. Liking to arise, or feelings to arise, or thoughts to arise. So if you pay attention to them closely, and so too, the seeing process also the same thing. So happen you notice seeing, seeing, you notice sensation arises, you notice thoughts arises. Then sometimes it cuts off, you go back to your sensation, then fine, well and good. Then there's a continuity of mindfulness from your walking to your seeing back to the walking again without breaking. So it's wonderful. So if happens to stay with it for a longer period of time, say for example, the hearing one usually, it stays with it for a bit longer period of time, not hearing, liking, thinking, memory. Then after that, if the music disappear or the things disappear, then after that you let it go back again to the noticing of whatever that you are noting. So there is you see there is a continuity, and also there's a lot of happening inside there. Yeah. So pay attention to those things. So not seeing, hearing, smelling, like that. So this is how we use mindfulness as a guardian, as a form of a restraint. You restrain all the senses. When you're able to notice them, even the craving arises, because you know it, very fast the craving disappear. Very fast the liking or the dislike will disappear. Then all the mindfulness will be there. So it's good for you to do all these type of things, but usually yogis don't do these type of things. Don't know whether they are lazy or whether they don't know. This is not the first time I talk, this one for this one. Anyway, next one. The third type of restraint is restraint by wisdom and or restraint by knowledge. Wisdom or knowledge here. Here, knowledge means you have right teachings. Right teachings, for example, teachings of the Buddha, uh, uh, or even the worldly teachings also, which is also can be wholesome. Say, for example, you want to kill something. Yeah. But you don't think about your precept, but you think about there's such a thing as, if I do this killing, there's such a thing as karma. There's such a thing as unwholesome, unhappy resultant will arise in this life or in the future. Because you think it in this way, you prevent yourself from killing. Then this is called restraint by wisdom or restraint by knowledge. Right knowledge. You restrain it by right knowledge, which is good. Uh, uh, you know that, for example, like uh, while we are here, then you start talking to other people and so on, or you start playing with your phone and texting and looking at other things. Then when you notice these type of things, the desire may perhaps come up that you want to do it, but you because of the knowledge of the past that you have, that when I do this thing, wow, my mind is so restless, I cannot meditate for so many hours and so on, so you restrain from taking up your phone, yeah, which is good, because this type of phone, wow, now is so difficult, it's near to an addiction already, for a lot of people. Yesterday, I was going through a YouTube on the people talk about games addiction. You still play games, Who knows, But the gaming industry is a huge industry. Yeah. So huge industry that they talk about how they hook you in. Yeah. In the beginning of the games, they make you keep on winning. Lah. They let you win first. Why? Then the more that you win, the more shocked already, The more you like it already. Then you keep on playing. Then they give you some points and this and that. And then after that, you want to maintain it. And you want to maintain and you want to play with other people and so on. Then after that, that is where it starts to hook you in by paying more money. You pay this, you get this, you pay that, you get that. So you pay a little bit. So you can. After you play, you don't have enough, so you buy some more. So you buy some more until you get this one, you get so hooked into it that you cannot even let go. Maybe nowadays, the 5 precepts also include game addiction. This type of addiction already, It doesn't make you, it's an addiction, actually. Yeah. Or maybe in the 3rd precept, because the 3rd precept, they say kamesu michachara. It's not just only sexual misconduct, because the word kamesu is various desire Michachara means misconduct, wrong conduct. Where got sexual misconduct? But the the here now is the in the past, of course, there's no gaming, all this type of thing. It's the peak of desire. It's a sexual desire. But nowadays, sometimes people forgo sexual desire, but the peak is their addiction to all these games. Addiction, the whole mind is involved into it. You don't want to seek for a girlfriend or boyfriend or partner, they are whoever is on the other end of the games is your best friend already. So addiction is so strong. Uh, uh, Hey, talking about distant industry, they says that each one spend sometimes it mentioned that the YouTube mentioned that there are very few. I mean, there are people who spend up to 200,000 USD for the gamer playing the game. You can buy a house already. USD. Oh, crazy. This the addiction is so strong nowadays. And in the past also, I've seen videos about children in China. The addiction is so strong that they have to send some of these children to a camp to remove all this addiction. Like you have alcohol addiction, or you have drug addiction, to rehabilitate them, to make them proper again. So, so strong. I mean, isn't that addiction right here? So actually, it can falls under on one of the precepts. Actually, one of the five precepts. Maybe not number 5. Maybe number 3 already. No, so strong. Anyway, knowledge by understanding its consequences. We understand that the consequences give us bad or unhappy result. Then we prevent ourselves from falling into that trap. We prevent ourselves from falling into that trap. That is good. And in many ways in our life, we know that these type of things, a lot of times we use our intelligence, our this one to remove ourselves from doing all kinds of unnecessary things. But nowadays also, especially the young adults, teenagers, when they connected to social media and so on, they post everything up now. Actually, it's a form of the psychological form of what you call narcissistic behavior. Narcissistic means that you want to show off yourself to other, and then you kind of like you fell in love. Not to say you really like what you do and you like yourself in that way. Then after that, you want to tell everybody. Sometimes monks or nuns also like that now. I've seen that monks or nuns want to fly here and there. They take the whole ticket to show people. I say it's no good. Nowadays, people can take all the info to do all kinds of wrong things because your ticket has a lot of info in terms of barcoding and QR code. So these are things it's not good. But the thing is that it's not because people can scam you in the thing, but it's because you want to tell the world where you are going. You tell the world where you are. You go in the beach and then you take a photo of yourself. Look, here I am. Then you post it to the world and your friends to see you. Then everybody give you a like and love. Then you feel good. That's how we feel good nowadays. It's how they feed on these kind of things. And the problem is that it's the opposite. When you don't get the good, you get a lot of dislike and so on. Then you go into a mental depression. People go into mental depression because somebody comment on their Facebook or whatever, and a lot of dislike more than the like. Depression. You laugh lah, but it's real. This is real happening in the world right now. And we are, and a lot of times we are addressing on the minor and these sort of things, but a lot of things are happening in the modern sense, that very much to do with uh, non-understanding, a lot to do with their ego, a lot to do with their this thing. If all of you over here, let's say, something like his age, which is only 21 only, then the rest of you, I mean, if the talk, I mean, if the audience is like around that age, late teenage or teenager or early 20s, then my talk will be totally different already. All the example will be something like that already. Games, although I do not know much of it, But the thing is that we grew up in the times that where gaming industry starts to begin. Yeah. Where when I was younger, we have that. You go to the game arcade, you put 20-cent coin, and then the ding 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 ding. We play that type of game. You've seen that before? We play this type of game. That time, the gaming industry, something like that starts. And then slowly it moves into the electronic and so on. Those before that, it was mechanical in a sense. So nowadays, things are very different. So therefore, in a sense that although I'm not into that now, after all, but I've seen the moment I've seen these type of things, people are suffering because of that. They don't see the consequences of whatever they posted up, whatever that they do. They follow the crowd, they follow the peer pressure, they follow the social pressure, whatever. Because of they do, you want to do also. Without a layer of filtration there, without the knowledge or the wisdom to filter that. They don't want to listen to too much of the elderly people, what they talk. They say, you are not grown up in the digital age, You're all dinosaur. Dinosaur. So it is a big problem. It's a big problem with this type of digital world right now. We do not know where is that we use the digital for the sake of whatever that we need to do. But nowadays we overuse it and so on. But if you underuse also, very difficult for you to be alive, today. Nowadays you order food, not all the time you walk to the shop, you just 来了. You take a flight ticket and see, nowadays the flight ticket is that they don't issue ticket, everything is in the phone. If you do not know, simply you touch, boom, your ticket gone. Or you can change your date or you change your itinerary. So a lot of times we see that a lot of more elderly people, they begin so afraid of using digital thing. Even right now, like parking. When you're parking a car, some places we don't use the coupon and all anymore. We use everything is digital. You just put your number and they already, they already know how to deduct and everything is there ready for you. I mean, I don't have car, and but I sit beside them, I see what they do, The problem is sometimes they do not know what to do. They ask me how to do. They ask me how to put in the number, how to deduct the this one, whether enough money or not. But I know since we are using phone and all that, just look around a little bit. We know what to do already. But anyway, the thing is that the thing is that a lot of people fear, especially as we get older, digital way of how things are moving is a very fast manner. Nowadays, like for example, you want to earn money. I mean, you want to earn a lot very fast. You have to go in online already, internet and all things. But when it goes down, you also a lot of problem. Like nowadays, like Bitcoin, the craving for it now. The one thing, you don't see any physical money. You don't see anything in the bank, but you see everything is going up. But when it goes down, everything just goes down very fast. Like for example, like yesterday, I read somebody again, like they call it NFT. Like you have a digital thing, and then you sell it to somebody, or you own the type of digital art, as a kind of like, you have like your stocks and houses and all that, but now it's all in digital format. So you have those things. So those things are, the prices can go up and down. So when they bought that thing, let's say a piece of digital art, it cost like 1 million, and it was very famous. And yesterday, the whole thing went down to $40. So fast. All your investment all gone. But when you want to go up, it can go up very fast. But when you go down, it go down also very fast. So a lot of people fear of all these kind of things. So because again here, we don't have the desire, the attachment, the strong addiction, and so on. We don't have the filter anymore. A lot of times we do not know where to filter the whole ourselves, to pull back ourselves from doing all these type of things. Yeah? So you got to be careful out there. Yeah? The addiction is very strong. The consequences can be very unpleasant, very unhappy. So therefore, we use certain worldly knowledge and certain wisdom, spiritual wisdom that we have due to our practice about understanding about mindfulness, about desire, about anger, and so on. So we restrain ourselves from going further. If not, if we act on those things, then there will be a lot of unhappiness. Even if we have some worldly wisdom that we can prevent ourselves, also is good. So wisdom in the form of as a kind of restraint, that will be very good. The next one, restraint as patience. Restraint as patience. Patience here means like you have to bear up with all things that which is unpleasant to you, external things. Here, like for example, hot or cold, mosquito, and so on. People, other yogis also. Like hot and cold. You see, like in places, especially like Burma, Thailand, and all that. They can be very hot, especially like March, April, May, June. And especially like March, April, or May. It can be tremendously hot. Sometimes can reach up to 40 degrees. I stayed there for one summer, enough already. I mean, here hot, here hot. At least we got some fan now. There, Burmese, they don't like to turn on fan. They meditate. So many of them there, not even one fan. Sometimes you got like 50 yogi in the hall. Let's say the hall is about twice this size, but 50 yogis sitting there. Not even one fan, and the weather is at 37 degrees Celsius already. As hot as your body already. Oh, and they love to meditate like that. And you sweat, sweat. It's like a sauna. And usually for Malaysian, the more you don't have to tell me that you are Malaysian. We already know that mostly you are Malaysian already. By whether you sit down, you turn on the fan or not. We go there, we see the yogi turn on the agak Malaysian already. Chinese, you look Chinese, Malaysian, Singaporean. Because they love the fan. We all cannot tahan with the fan. We see the fan, we have to turn it on. It's our habit. But the problem is that with the Burmese, not problem, it's their way, you know. Then they look at us, it's like, how come these people keep on turning and turning the fan? And sometimes like, this one again, my preceptor again. People meditate with the fan on. He come in and then he can off everything. Then you saw him, you dare not come back. You just sit. You dare not do anything. You dare go and turn it on again. You cannot do anything. You cannot do anything. It's just like that, you know. So here you have to bear it up. You have to bear up. And the thing is that if you learn to bear up with the heat, after a while, your mind can able to settle with it. After a while, initially it's a lot of like, wow, very luan one, the whole mind very restless one. Very restless, a lot of thinking. You'll be thinking about the roof, whether you should ask them to put sprinkler there, or to offer aircon this, that. The mind will think of all kinds of things because at that time, the unpleasant in the heart, you can't bear up and so on. So a lot of times you have to bear up, you have to endure. At times, I know, while you're sleeping there upstairs or downstairs, sometimes some yogi, oh, or sometimes the snoring is so loud. You know, sometimes there are yogis like that. It will always be best is that a yogi have one room to their own. Yeah? It would be ideal. But some places we don't have that facility and so on. So, in other words, we bear up with all these type of things. Even if you give you the most luxurious kuti also or luxurious room, you also will complain one. There's no such thing as no complaint one. Something you can tak boleh tahan, especially new yogis, they come in, one or two times, and they are like a boss or like all the big shot ladies. Oh, that one I can't. That one. Oh, they have a lot, not to say complain lah. Their feedback and complaint is a very close thing, It's a very close thing, you don't know whether it's a feedback or already complaint because they know how to twist the words. Small little thing they cannot bear up. Small little thing they already like that or like that. So sometimes you have to bear up. Sometimes the place can be more mosquito. Sometimes the place can be more insects and so on. A lot of things may be so unbearable to you. Not all places, everything is perfect. If everything is perfect, your mind is not strong enough already. You must have this type of challenges here and there. Then only you can bear up with this. You can then when there's challenges is there, then only it makes your mind strong. As the English saying goes, if it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. It doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger. So learn to bear up with it. Even the heat or the cold, a lot of times you can bear up with that, but sometimes it's so difficult to bear up with another person. Another person is their character, their way of doing things. Ayo. Think also you geram already. You look at and that It's difficult, not so easy. The people that is going to sit with you in the same hall, meditate with you at the same hall, sleep with you in the same room, eat with you at the same table or the same dining hall for the whole duration. Uh, and again, sometimes maybe you come here for 3 months, let's say, you stay for 1 month already. Oh, things are going well. Then suddenly the person that you really don't like wanna come and meditate with you because you have some problem with her or him in the past retreat already. Then come and yes. Kacau ni. So you see, if you cannot bear up, you're gonna have a problem. So, in other words, when you come to a retreat, small things, small things, don't learn to bear up with it. Yeah. Other people's, in their inclination, their way of doing things may not ngam with you, may not so parallel with you. Some yogis like to talk a little bit more. Some yogis do all kinds of funny things. But of course, if too much, too disturbing already, then this one. But sometimes even they are not disturbing, just because they're slightly different from you, you get very upset. So a lot of times you have to learn to bear up. I cannot emphasize this one a little more. Because you learn to bear up, it helps you when it comes to your meditation time. And you have to bear up with the pain and tension and so on. That also, in a way, it's helpful. So a lot of things you have to bear up. Okay, so we stop here for tonight. We'll continue tomorrow. Share merits. Idang me bawanang nibbanasa pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy. May they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu.